Hello and welcome to another Two Casters podcast. I'm your host, Johan Graham.
And it's Chibi Sojo.
Whew.
How do you do that?
So it's been a while,
Mm-hmm.
and well, at this point in time, the last episode has just been released.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, yeah.
A few
So
hours
we,
ago.
yeah, we apologize to our listeners. It's been a while. It's been very busy, especially for the last 2 months, January and
Ye-
February, to the point that we might actually not be talking about Valentine's. And I don't want to talk about
Yeah.
Valentine's. Uh, but still, at least, uh, it's true. The year for 2023 has been a year of transition. And for me, it was a transition from one work to another. It's finally finished.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm freer, quote unquote, freer
Quote
than usual.
unquote.
Yeah. It's like, oh, I'm super busy. Now I'm just busy.
Slightly busy.
Uh-huh. On the other hand, there's also Chibi that has
Let's
something to say.
go. Chibi now has work after a couple of months ago.
What? You were choppy.
Oh, I'm choppy.
Choppy,
We now
choppy.
have work. Let's go. After 5 months or so, 6 months, half year, your boy has now
Woo!
work.
I'm now a slave to society.
I'm now employed. I'm no longer a freeloader.
You'll now exchange your free time for money.
Yay! Zombie mode has been now activated. Oh my god.
So what's your work gonna be?
Yeah, two things. One, whole day in front of the computer. And two, telling people good day, my name is Chibi, how may I help you? This is
So that
welcome to
Jollibee part-time
Jollibee.
is really working for you.
After a couple of months practicing on stream regarding Jollybox or Jollibee,
Hello,
take
ma'am,
it to
sir.
fruition. Hello, ma'am, sir. Welcome to Jollybox. How may I help? How may I take your order? Oh my god.
So it's a work
We're
with calls?
mhm. It's a mix of calls, emails, and chat. So
Oh, okay. So
it
basically,
depends on the concern. So
yeah, yeah, same line of work for me.
yes, sir.
But
Hopefully everything would be smooth,
well,
toxic or stressful like any other
yeah.
fields.
Oh well, it's gonna be stressful, but
Mm-hmm. I mean,
like
I
all I
wish
could
that
say,
stress would be manageable or something.
well, I mean, it should be. I
It
mean,
should be.
the thing with this line of work is that it always goes in spurts. So it's like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, there will be a week that's gonna be super hellish.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's no tomorrow. And then suddenly after that, once that passes, you'll have like a few days of basically no work, just twiddling your thumbs, trying to make nothing into something. Trying to make
Waiting for something to happen.
yeah. That's a thing, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Especially for this line of work because it's basically support. So if there's no issue, you're still gonna get paid even though you're basically not
Mm-hmm.
working.
And
And
yeah,
that
the
happens to me as well.
well, I mean, the only difference between our work is you can actually work from home, but I had to commute every day.
Oh, you don't have a day for work from home?
Yeah, sadly, because what do you call this? This is a new account or this is a new thing, so
I see.
it's not an established account. So they were advised to have all staff or employees to be on site.
I see. Well,
Mm-hmm.
I could at least tell you a few things because I do know the area. I used to
Mm-hmm.
work. around that place. So that shouldn't be a problem commute wise. Even if right now there's been a changes to commute routes because of
Yep.
the pandemic and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that.
And
And then
inflation. The inflation.
yeah, that's also a thing. And I don't know, maybe you have taxi compensation or something. They have reimbursement for transport.
I think we will be discussing that when they call or something this week.
Okay, okay. Because there's always the Uber or equivalent.
Mm-hmm. Because I think that will be like not cheaper but more convenient,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
maybe.
Convenient is an important thing. That's also something that I learned. Well, not recently, but from my last work. Since my last work, it's like at this point, I could still save even if I spend a little bit, and the amount that I'll save is no longer as worth as the amount it would be a convenience to me. Because
Mm-hmm.
sometimes it's not it's not always worth it to save. I mean, it usually is, but sometimes convenience is also good, considering the how horrible the Philippine commute
Philippine
is.
commute. Exactly.
Yeah, because there's
Yeah,
the
I'll
traffic,
need.
and then there's the line, and then
Mm-hmm.
there's trying to time your schedule, and then
Yes.
you're trying to ask if there's actually transport on that day.
Mm-hmm. Because there are
Because
times that there are actually no vehicles to commute with or
yep,
some.
because of a strike or a
Mm-hmm.
specific holiday, probably Holy Week. Yeah.
Oh yeah, whole week is coming up. So we'll take it to consideration as to taking it.
Don't be like that. It's still 2-ish months.
Mm-hmm.
If you're lampshading Holy Week, where this episode might come at the Holy Week.
Oh no, 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 no. We got that. What do you call this? We got that worked out. Everything will be put into schedule. It would be a weekly thing.
Yeah, because in the
Because
last
before,
episode, we were supposedly gonna talk about Valentine's this episode,
hmm
but at this point, Valentine's is over.
yeah,
Which again, I don't really want to speak about it because what's there to celebrate?
single independence month awareness day. I don't know.
Nah, I mean, it's Black Awareness Month.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but that's an American thing, and
Yes.
there aren't really black people in Philippines. I mean, there are, but there's not. There are not a lot. There are few,
Mm-hmm.
and mostly are in Manila.
Yeah.
Um.
So enough with the Valentines and stuff.
Mhm.
Let's move on to the next pick, which would be.
What else did happen this February? I mean, a lot of people are like, getting married. Oh my
Mm-hmm.
god, we're getting at that age. Uh,
Oh my god.
and some people are like on the first child, sometimes the second child already.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I'm not even at the first step.
Yeah, like for example, like I did have like a lot of students right now who are on their second child already. I was
Oh
like,
my
you
god.
guys already have family? It's like- And I'm here like playing games and stuff.
Hey man, even if we're old and shriveled with grandchildren, we're still gonna be playing games.
True, that is true.
And
But
most
still,
likely
you
our
know.
children would also be playing.
Oh
Oh
my god.
my god. In the end, this podcast is really not about the comedy. It's all about the games. All about the
Mm-hmm.
games. In
True, true, true,
fact,
true.
you guys have been playing Overwatch. I
A
have
lot.
not gotten back to Overwatch.
Yeah, that's the thing. We've been trying to go back to Valorant as well before because there's like a new update and stuff. But guess what? When I was trying to go back to Valorant, that's the time where my disk drive got a
Oh,
bad sector. It's like telling me, no, don't
uh,
play Valorant. That's bad for your health. Move on. Delete
it's
that shit.
it's also bad for your PC.
It's bad for your PC and bad for your peripherals because you're gonna smash the keyboard and stuff. Enough of that bullshit.
Ooh.
It's my
Well,
own PC telling me not to play Valorant anymore. My God.
speaking of Overwatch, my
Mm-hmm.
favorite Overwatch 2 streamer had her birthday on
Yay!
February. Woo!
Woo!
And just so you know, it's actually Erica Maris.
Yeah, the one who is editing our podcast as of now. So yeah, you've been noticing like a lot of difference between the previous edits and the current edit. This the current edits are like meme. I don't know, meme. A lot more meme than usual.
It's to
Yeah, it's
compensate for for our lack of comedy.
mm. Well, it was her birthday last February 16th, which
Mm,
is like a
yeah.
few days already had passed.
Yep. So what did you do?
So yeah, regarding that, we had no funds. No, just oh yeah.
I
But the
don't
thing is,
remember.
yeah, but the thing was, that's the time as well where I got the job offer from that specific company. So she was
Oh.
like, "Oh, actually, this is like a great birthday gift that
Mm-hmm.
we got the news that you already have a job or blah blah
Mm-hmm.
blah." So we still had like a couple of things did. So I had an extra from my commission. So what we did was bought some ingredients to cook their house. So we had like spaghetti and stuff and chicken and a small cake.
The
And
usual
then
stuff.
yeah, the usual stuff. But she preferred what do you call this? Celebrating her birthday not at their house because people there
Uh,
are too busy to notice that there's happening. So after cooking, eating at their house, we went back here at our house, at my house, and we celebrated again here. The day after is like a post celebration. We ordered mamangs, our favorite pizza. We ordered mamangs. It was her request. So I had extra bucks on my wallet. So I said, yeah, yeah, sure, why not? So we bought mamangs, uh,
nice.
her now favorite truffles and bacon,
Oh,
and
okay.
and
I mean, I
garlic
like the
bread.
first and second slice of that, and then after that, it's like, eh.
Yeah, I know, right? So we did like bought another one, which is the Hawaiian, the original one. So just
Yeah.
to switch the palette, and then uh
The Supreme one is it's like my favorite because it's like
yeah,
Hawaiian but extra.
hmm but the thing was, my mom doesn't want that green stuff on the pizza, so we have no choice
Oh,
but to order the normal Hawaiian, the original.
the green
We had no
pepper.
choice.
I think
Yes,
it's
sir. The
yeah,
green pepper and the what do you
it's
call
not even
this?
spicy. It's just
I know, right? I don't know why they don't like it. So
it's
we had the
probably
truffles and stuff.
maybe the texture. I don't know.
Mm. But yeah,
But I do remember another one that was good. I think it was something like burger or
oh yeah,
steak or
yeah, yeah.
like something.
Mm-hmm.
That one is that one is savory
Yeah,
and it's very meaty.
but they didn't like it, and they said, "Oh, I want this instead."
But
Blah blah blah.
actually
I had no
healthy.
choice. I had no choice. It's two versus one. I don't have
my
a choice.
my hands are tied.
Yes, I'm just the only one buying this for you, but I have no choice but to actually, you know, accept the order from these people. It's like a training already for my job. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. Huh? I got you. All right, I'll
Yeah,
process
you
that.
gotta
Thank
be
you.
chill, even if they're super angry. They'll be like, just follow protocol. We
Mm-hmm.
apologize for the inconvenience. We will try our
Yeah.
best to resolve your issue.
Yes. Would that be all? Thank you so much for calling, and we hope you have a great day. Not. Oh my god.
Ooh,
So
boy.
yeah, that's what we did. And earlier, a few hours ago, uh, sh- they also requested, oh, can we do like a sangyup here? Blah 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 blah. I'm
Damn.
like, fine. It'll only cost 3 digits. Why not? Okay, fine. So we did small
Wow.
sangyup stuff here in the house. Yes. I don't even have the job yet. I don't know how much or when will I get paid. Don't get too cocky with requesting too much stuff.
Yeah, you'll most likely get paid after the full month, but at least it's gonna pay you full for the full month.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But yeah, I said chill down, slow down with the requests and stuff, with the food and stuff. We don't know when we're gonna get paid. So we still have like a house to pay, so chill.
Oh no, I just realized if you get
Mm-hmm.
money by April 15 or sometime around that, your
Mm.
birthday is also
Oh fudge.
uh,
April. I'm checking the calendar now. My
yeah.
birthday falls on Thursday. Oh, God dang it.
Why does it feel like all of our birthdays are on the same day?
Yeah, exactly. Yours was
Are we day
Thursday.
aligned?
Actually, this is the only year that happened, right? Because I remember you guys had birthdays on Wednesday, Tuesdays, and mine was Friday. And I think the other
All
people's
right.
birthday was weekend. But now this year, yours was Thursday. Erica's was Thursday. Mine is Thursday. Wait, when was Kaito's birthday?
No, I
Oh, it
don't
was
think.
Friday. It was last year. Yeah, okay. But still,
Yeah.
all of us have
Our
like
our
Thursday.
our birthday aligned. What the heck?
Oh my god.
I mean, I did notice that I'm aligned with Erica for a long time. Ever since we like the thing at CADS.
Mm-hmm.
I already noticed that. But I did not notice that your birthday was also aligned. Damn.
Oh my god.
Anyway, speaking of
Who would have
birthdays,
thought?
actually, no, nothing happened.
Nothing happened.
Yeah, it's my birthday was on January.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have people having a birthday on March. I mean, we
Yep.
do, but we don't talk about that person anymore.
Yes, sir.
Um, what
We're gonna
else?
skip a month. Couple of months. Wait, is there someone's birthday on April?
My mother.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
Other
But
than
on
that, no,
our
no,
yeah, other than that, I think on our inner circle and stuff, I think none.
not really. Most of
Mm-hmm.
the other people are like on the per months.
Yeah. So enough of that. We're going
Mm.
back to our
So let's
yeah,
talk about dreams.
mm,
I'm not talking about dreams that you get when you're sleeping. We're talking about ambitions. Especially since
goals.
again, this year is a year of
Year of
transition.
transitions. Mm-hmm.
We gotta talk about our dreams so that we could talk about where are we heading to, or at least what we intend to go to. What do we
Mm-hmm.
want to become? Do you have any dreams that you want to do, especially this year?
Well, I've actually what do you call this? As you know, I'm volunteering as work, and I do had like a part-time work for like hosting and stuff and doing courses and stuff for a certain non-profit group. And that actually was asked because we had a guest speaker, like a coach,
Oh
quote
right,
unquote.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And then we
That
were
was
talking about
funny because
goals and
yeah, because I
ambitions
saw
and
your
stuff. Like,
screenshot and I was like, oh, well,
right.
that's a topic
And
for the
mm,
podcast. Or rather,
mm,
I was already thinking that we should talk about this, and then there was that screenshot. I'm like, ah,
the timing.
I guess we
Ah,
should. We really should.
Yes, sir. But yeah, regards with the dreams and goals and ambition, I already talked about this on the live that my goal for this year is actually to finish the house. That's the main goal for this year. And on the side note, reach like a 500 plus on Twitch because we're almost 500 followers on Twitch. But yeah, uh,
So
that's the goal for of mine right now. How about yours for this year?
for this year, well, specifically for this year, I want to be more healthy. I mean, I've also talked about it with the resolutions that I also
Mm-hmm.
want to change
Mm-hmm.
my lifestyle, and that's why
Buff
I
imp.
I don't want to be buff. That's that shit is hard to maintain,
All right.
but I do want to be more fit.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so I've been actually doing exercises. So I wouldn't consider it as something like my dream, but I also know that part of uh doing your dreams is actually surviving until you reach your dreams, you know? Because you
Yes.
can't just be asking for something or doing something and then um push back your health. So for me it's gonna be all about health. Um and with that, I've been exercising a lot actually. And oh my god, all I could say is once you start working out and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
other things follow, including the farts and the poops and the pees.
Oof.
Yeah, because it's
Yeah.
like okay, so um normally my bowels are regular, obviously, but it's not normal for me that when after I eat, I get kind of gassy. But now,
Mm-hmm.
even if I don't eat a lot of veggies, I get
Oof.
kind of gassy. It's like it's probably the microbes regulating my stomach, you know, or my intestines. So, uh, all I can say is being healthy is really messy.
Oof. Oh my god, can't imagine doing that. Like the
What?
constant, I mean, the constant pain, not of constant pain, but the problem of that. Because I do have this issue with like if I drink coffee or frap or what do you call this, eat sweets, I go for number two immediately or something. So if I do actually add the exercise and stuff, imagine, imagine
uh,
what would happen then. Instead of it's like once a day thing, that would be like
oh,
that would happen like 5 times a day. I don't know.
damn. Need more fiber in your
Mm-hmm.
body.
Your body.
Your body. So that's been a thing. The other thing is, my long-term ambition for the longest time has always been I wanted to be a game designer. I mean, the term is kind of like vague.
Mm-hmm.
In a way, I just wanted to be like inside the game design market. 'Cause I don't really care if I'll end up becoming a game developer, game designer, level editor, or just a manager to these kinds of things. And that's also kind of the reason why I pursued a career in technology.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, the cards were not good that
Mm-hmm.
I did not get a direct line to that line of work.
Yep.
But I'm really thinking of changing careers right now.
After a
And
few months or something.
yeah, and I'm really thinking of actually pursuing something more direct to game design because um I think I already talked about this, or maybe I've only talked about it with GB, that um during office hours there is we have a meeting daily that if there's not no news, which is usually the case,
Mm,
we play games just to wake us up. Because I'm
mhm.
on the graveyard shift, so that meeting is like 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning, and then we do games. So
Yeah.
one of the one of the team members supposed to make a game, and I mean with simple mechanics that are intended for the whole group to enjoy, have fun, uh talk about and discuss,
Stay
and
awake.
yeah, to stay awake. And whenever it's my turn to make a game, I always give the effort to make a game, and I'm really enjoying it. It's really like, oh, this is the thing. This is the a thing I've been working on since I was very young. That I wanted to be a game designer or game developer, or basically a person that likes making games. And it really showed me that uh this is supposed to be my line of work, or at least
Yeah.
something like, you know, the meaning my meaning of life, purpose in life. So it's like the number one dream, and I really want to pursue it. So yep, that's on the cards. I gotta do it. Gotta
So you
find a
have like
way. Hmm?
what do you call this? Do you have like a plan set up for that, or and as of the moment?
Honestly, not as of the moment, because as I've said, uh, there was a transition from company to company, and I was only free the last few days.
True.
I mean, that's why we were able to podcast today, because because I am free today,
Freer.
freer, yeah, freer today.
Mm-hmm. Oh, whoops.
Whew,
Oh, whoops.
damn
But yeah,
dreams. No,
yeah.
actual
They
dreams.
actually.
How about normal dreams? Yeah, what?
Oh yeah, regarding those dreams and goals or like ambitions and stuff, we discussed it before. Like, how would you actually pursue your dreams and stuff, or like how would you handle those uh dreams? How you
Mm-hmm.
approach those dreams?
Mm-hmm.
Like they said, the first thing you have to do when you go for that dream, like you set up a dream, is ask the question of why, like a big emotional why. Like
Mm,
why are you set to this goal, or why do you want this to happen, or why is this your ambition or like your dream? And that dream or that why should align to your purpose or your values in life. Because
mhm,
if it does not, it will be like a big problem to actually, you know, big problem that you will need to encounter
true.
about that dream.
Yeah.
And then after actually going for that why, next one is what. Like, what are you going to do for today to achieve that goal? Like, you need to chunk down what are the steps you want to, what actions you want to take, you want
Mhm,
to do these dreams. And then, like, for example, the example for me was the house. So I said, oh, I want within 1 to 2 years, I need to make the house fix stuff, exterior and interior. Then I was asked, okay, 1 to 2 years, this is your goal. But in the first 9 months, on the ninth month uh mark, what should be your goal? What would be the mark that indicates that, oh, I'm almost there to my goal, like with 9 months. So what you need to do. And then 6 months, what should you be doing within the 6 months? And then for the first 3 months, what would you be doing? It's like a chunking down smaller milestones so you can keep track. Like, oh, I'm progressing to my dream or something like that.
I see. Chonky chonky.
Yes, sir. So yeah, like with your dream or with your ambition, like
Yeah.
game design and stuff. Do you have like estimate like when do you think that would happen or something?
It's a good question because honestly, I'm really vague with the next few months. I'm
Mm.
not sure how things will happen because it's like, oh, suddenly something's gonna happen at April, something's gonna happen at May, or something's gonna happen at March, and I kind of don't have a control for it. The only things that I do have control of is the things that I could do, and honestly,
Mm-hmm.
I could probably make some games now,
Like
and yeah, we'll see. We'll see on how much free time I will be
it all
given.
depends on the how many time do you have in your hand currently.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Oh yeah,
Because
and then
even for me, it's like
mm-hmm.
whenever I have free time, I used to be unable to control it because it's like, okay, it's always gonna be defaulting to either resting or gonna play some games, either to play with friends, basically socialize, as well as exercising my mental strength, mental fortitude, and what. So that's been a thing. Um, especially like uh when I got out of my last job,
Mm-hmm.
not the one that transitioned, but I'm talking about the one that was years ago.
Yeah.
And then I had like a whole year of free time. Actually, it wasn't even free time because I was dating back then, and then
Yeah.
that I was also taking some of the free
Oh yeah.
time. So uh
Like supposedly your own free time turns out to free time for another
I mean,
what do you call this?
not
Priority or
all of it
something.
was spent on them, but definitely a chunk of it was spent on them. And then there was
Mm-hmm.
definitely free time back then, and I didn't really do anything back then. Do anything related to my dreams, or I mean, it's the usual. It's either rest or just play games, which I mean, technically it's still aligned because understanding the market is also part of the skill set that you need to be a good game designer.
Good. Mm-hmm.
Um, for now, what I could see is probably make games with probably paper and pen, basically, with
Mm-hmm.
Excel and Google Sheets and Google Slides. And honestly, the one thing that I'm having trouble with is art. Because even though I understand full well that when it comes to developers, you don't really need art, you just need like the skeleton of a
Skeletal. Yeah.
or
The
even the box.
placeholders or something.
Yeah, placeholders. Sometimes it's also part of the art is also part of the um immersion to getting into the game to develop it even further. So I might also consider honing up my art skills.
Ooh.
The very the very rusty art
Artsy
skills.
imp.
We'll see. Because honestly, the only experience I had in terms of art was when I was doodling when I was in grade school. Because again, this dream has been my dream for the longest time, and I'm not exactly the unambitious type. I'm pretty ambitious.
Mm-hmm.
So, um, when I was in grade school, you're always you're given like an intermediate pad paper, right?
Yep.
It's intended for quizzes, notes,
Quizzes.
or whatever.
Exams or
Something
something.
that you have to, yeah, you just have to rip off. So the good thing with intermediate pad paper is that it's basically a sketchbook as well, because it's like it's immediately paper. It's not like, oh, you have to flip things or whatever. I doodled a lot on the intermediate pad paper.
Oh my god. I thought you're also doodling on like on the back of your notebook or something.
Oh, yep, that's also something that I do.
Because like if you have compiled, like if you still have your notebooks and stuff, notepads, so during those, you can actually create like documentation. Oh, this is what my art looked like before 10 years ago, and
Yeah,
what I actually
that's
do.
also something that I did, because
Mm,
oh my god, the education system like years ago,
mm-hmm.
20-ish years ago, because technology hasn't caught up yet. Part of the lecture is that you have to write you have to actually
Oh,
write the lecture. You
this,
remember that time?
mm-hmm.
Now, I will
That,
say, it is said in science that learning with by writing up the things that you want to memorize is very helpful. But that also means that back then, that most of the lectures were partly memorization, and that was like, eh. I mean, look at the people now. Do they still remember the things that they talked about years ago? Not really. That's why if you quiz them, they don't know the answer. I did not take notes. Whenever it's going to take notes, I will do them on my notebook. I did not like dictation. I did not like
mm-hmm.
lectures.
Yeah.
But
Like,
I was
you would like actually prefer like actual application rather than like
oh,
they are just their
definitely.
story, like
Definitely. And
storytelling and stuff.
okay, so here's the thing though. I think that was the lecture that was applicable at that time. And now, most of the time, it's going to be like photocopy, or they will send you a digital copy of a part of the book or even the actual book. And then they're gonna say, oh, go to page whatever. And then here's your workbook. Then you answer this, please, as your homework. Um, that's probably the grade school system right now. It's no longer you have to write this or that, because most things have caught up with technology already. There's already systems or organizations that handle teacher student classroom setting. So
Mm-hmm.
like you could also send your assignments through that app. So it's been so different to the point that I can't really judge back then. But it also was a time that I was doodling doodling at the back of my notebook. It was even to the point that like half of the back of my notebook was just doodles. And then my notes probably only first 10 pages. And then there was even one time that we were basically forced to take notes. So it's like, okay, fine. I'll take notes or whatever.
Mm,
And then there was
it's
a lot of
required.
Citrix and homeworks, to the point that both ends meet, where it was already like near the end of the school year. The front to the middle is meeting with the back doodles to the middle.
Oh my god.
To the point that I was like, yeah, do I have to put this in a separate notebook or
Mm. Just fit everything in. Just use the
yeah.
same.
Yeah,
That's
well,
the only indicator. Like, what do you call this? The time that you know that the lecture is so interesting if the back of your notebook until up to the almost middle of the notebook is full of doodles and stuff. Yeah.
oh my
You've
god.
drawn like random stuff, a pig, a dog, your teacher, your
Oh,
classmate.
here's the thing though. My doodles were
Mm-hmm.
like all aligned to something. There's always like a theme. They're like, okay, for this
Mm-hmm.
subject, I'm doodling this, and then for another subject, I'm doodling this, and then, I was basically doodling comics.
Oh my god.
Yeah, because it's like Mega Man was a big
Mm-hmm.
thing back then, and to the point that platformers, even though it's not my favorite genre, platformers is a big thing in the 90s and maybe even the 2000s. That uh, I was basically also doing level level editing. What do you call
Mm-hmm.
that? But basically making a level. So like, okay, so I'm gonna put traps here. There's a bit of a challenge here. It's gonna move. The enemy's gonna move like this. I was already thinking like that at a very young age. My imagination was super deep.
Damn. Chunibyo mode and everything during class. Oh my god.
No, I mean, it's not Chunibyo mode. I was not explaining it to anybody. It was like I was on my
I mean,
own
like,
world.
your
But
own world. Yeah, exactly.
yeah. And whenever there's like recitation, it's like okay, gonna ask the teacher's gonna ask me. I'm gonna actually look into the classroom, listen, and then
Doodle again.
no, answer the question.
Oh, yeah. I
I
thought you
could
were gonna, oh, listen,
yeah,
then.
I could also answer the question without much issue, and then once I'm done, I'm gonna go back to doodle.
Oh my
Uh,
god.
I mean, if there was discussion, I would listen to the discussion. But if there's lecture, I will not do lecture.
It's like, there's a lot of issue with when it comes to, what they call this, some teachers doing lectures and stuff. You know that the topic is just going around and round in circles, and they just don't get to the actual point of the lecture.
Mm-hmm.
So all you have to do is like, should I let's just talk to this guy beside me, or gonna draw, or gonna write, or gonna play a game on my phone?
Oh my god, yeah, that's another factor. The fact
Mm-hmm.
that um some schools already allow phones on schools,
Mm-hmm.
especially in college. I mean, obviously college, but then I think some senior high schools or high
Exactly, senior
schools
high school.
are
They're
also.
allowing students to have like phones inside the class, or they use phones in class.
Mm-hmm. I mean, again, it's like technology catching up because there's still use for it, but
Mm-hmm.
then that could also be a distraction. So, oh boy, man, it's been a
Oh my god!
education
Like,
system has been yeah, a doozy.
mm, you wouldn't thought that before, if we are using phone inside the classroom, oh, it will get confiscated or some shit.
Yeah.
But right now, okay, class, take notes. You have few minutes to copy all this, and you'll see like all the students grabbing their phones, taking pictures of the, of the board or something.
Yeah, that's another thing. Oh,
Oh my god.
oh yeah. I do remember that when it was like my short stint as a teacher.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't think I ever mentioned that, but I think you knew about it because you were also something like a substitute teacher at the
Yeah.
same school for a time.
Institution.
Yeah. I was like basically a fill for the lab of some teachers that has lecture for a
Mm-hmm.
programming class. Now, again, programming is a specific skill that's honed and learned um and the teachers have to catch up sometimes because what if they graduated masters 20 years ago, so they might not have the skills
The same
or
skills.
yeah the programming skills for it, so they need a teacher for lecture and lab.
Yeah.
And um if I did the lecture, it's gonna be pretty, that's a lot of pressure on me, or that's a lot, and then there's a lot of classes as well. And then if the teacher did the lab, they wouldn't know how to do exercises, how to make exercises, and how to grade them. So what happened was there was one teacher for lecture, one teacher for lab, and I was basically the person for lab. And um I do remember that that was the case. It's like, oh, you wrote something, so you wrote a lot on the whiteboard or blackboard, and then in the end they'll just take a picture of it, and
Yeah, that's
that's basically their notes now.
that's why whenever I do writings on the blackboard or whiteboard, I only do like key terms, no definition on the whiteboard. It's your fault if you don't write your own notes, taking into consideration what these
Uh,
keywords mean.
yeah. Actually, I don't really want to use the blackboard or whiteboard as much. I usually just do it for specific analogies.
True.
Uh,
I remember what do you call this? We had a subject back then where each student is appointed for a certain topic to discuss.
mhm.
It's I think it was like a math related uh subject. Is it math? I think it was. And then when you were the one discussing everything, some people at the back are like, What did he say? Like how did he come up with that or something?" Be-
Uh,
because they're too busy doing their own shit, and then when it comes to actually doing the activities and stuff, they
uh,
don't know what to do. And they're asking me, "Hey, do you have notes?" And the me in the front telling people, "Oh, I actually don't know. I didn't." Why? It's your fault not listening. Oh my God.
True.
Because I remember you doing tables and you call this numbers on board, not actually writing the terminology and stuff on the board. Because all you did was like the process of the problem and how to solve for it.
I don't
Other
think
than
we
that,
were classmates at math. It might have been something related to programming.
it was like logic and stuff, if I remember
Okay.
correctly.
Logic. Okay. Now, I kind of remember, but I don't remember. Did I have
What?
math? Did I
Yeah,
have
because we were
logic?
discussing, oh, you need to do this and do that. You're discussing about tables and stuff like that on board, while the teacher supposedly who's grading your lecture is asleep at the back. I remember that clear in my head because I saw that specific teacher sleeping at the back. And whenever you say, "Sir, is that correct?" He just goes, yeah, huh, uh-huh," and then goes back to sleep. That's why our classmates before are like wondering, "Oh, what? It's activity already? How did you do that? How did you come up with this again?" And you, on the other hand, goes like, "Oh yeah, you just do this, do that, and then it's up to you, blah blah blah." And it's like you're not giving the answers. You're not giving up the answers, but you're just giving them the process. But still, they are like the people asking, "How do you do this? How do you do that?" Because the teacher was asleep. God dang it.
I did like logic because it's like discrete
Mhm.
math. So, um, I mean, it's so mind-boggling to me that it's very much correct that when you say x or y, it's actually multiplication, and
Mhm.
then x and y is actually addition.
Addition.
Yeah, because it's like, oh, okay, so it's like possibilities. So that's the logic behind it, and then that's also why the symbols for addition, or at least the old symbols for addition and multiplication, was also related to and or.
And why? Mhm.
And then there's also not, which predates the concept of
Exclamation.
negatives.
Mhm.
And then yeah, so there wasn't there wasn't a way to do minus and division.
Divisions.
Mm-hmm. Oh man.
I'm already like imagining how would Erica edit this part. We're talking about tables, X and Y's probabilities and stuff like that. She
I
would
guess.
just look at me and mind-boggling face. Huh?
Well, I guess we could reel back a bit.
This
How
what
about the?
happens if we focus too much on logic, statistics, and programming. Right?
Yep. We should stick to art. Art,
Alright,
rainbow,
going back to art.
imagination. Oh man, so let's talk about dreams in the other sense.
Mm-hmm.
The things that you get while you're sleeping. I before Valentine's, huh? This
Mm-hmm.
was like probably actually this might have been January. I can't already forgot when exactly. I had a dream of my first grade crush, or rather second grade crush, which is my first ever
Ooh.
crush. And then we met up, we got together, and then we were like, okay, so we were already at like our old forms. So like we were already
Mm-hmm.
as old as now. And then we obviously knew each other. We knew each other as when we were children. And then we were like, how are you? We basically caught up. And then my parents was also saying that, oh, you should start dating. Again, this is in the
Oh.
dream. And I'm like, what? Nah, it's not gonna work out. And then I asked her out, and then she actually agreed. And then
Ooh.
we went on a date. Actually, I think the one that I still remember is like already our second or third date, because I think the first date was kind of the first. I mean, dreams are weird. You can't really put a timeline on dreams.
uh-huh.
But anyway, it's like first date, second date, probably good. I mean, it was most likely good because considering the context of the third date, it was already a date with my parents, and they were like, "Oh, how close have you two been?"
Are you getting married? Oh,
Yeah,
alright, too far.
things.
Too fast, too fast.
It was not even too fast. It was exactly what they were trying to ask. It's like, are you already considering marriage? And I'm like, what? Again, it was a dream. It was weird. And when I woke up, I actually messaged her in real life. And from there, I greeted her. Oh yeah. So I guess it really was near the end of January, because I was like greeting her Happy New Year, oh, I don't think I greeted Merry Christmas, but Happy New Year, as well as Happy Chinese New Year, and then a quick jab on, oh, we've only been talking a few times, and it's only greetings on New Year's
Mm-hmm.
or Christmas or birthdays. So a bit of how have you been, and then she didn't really reply. She only greeted Happy New Year back. So well, that's not gonna work. But holy shit, that dream was intense, because that went on for probably, I mean, I don't know in dream time, but it basically went for like 3 dates, and then it really was turning into we're getting married or whatnot. So I'm like, oh no, is this going to happen? And here's the thing. The thing with my first crush is I didn't really have a crush on her. It was more of I also had a dream back then when I was grade two.
God damn.
I was like, oh, the dream was basically I was seeing a person, a girl, on the aisle,
Mm.
uh, wedding aisle. What do you call that? I mean, whatever. I mean, you could see the picture. It was her. She was smiling, and I was like, she could be the one.
Dun
Again,
dun dun dun.
grade 2. Again, it's a dream.
Too young. Too young.
So, I realized I had a crush on her. Or more of, I had a crush on her because of a dream. So, even now, she's haunting my dreams. Basically, the concept of her, I have never met her again. I mean, I have because we were on the same university and I've only met her a few times, which is funny because, again, if you remember from a previous episode, my roommate was also my grade school friend,
Mm-hmm.
grade 2 friend. So he knew about this thing. He knew about this dream. And he was like, well, why aren't you talking to her? And I'm like, but we're on a different we're on different departments. We're not gonna see each other as much. And like I'm asking him because he's on the same well, sometimes he's on the same department as her. They had more common classes. And then when
Mm-hmm.
I ask him, he's like, yeah, we're classmates a few times, but like it's whatever. We don't talk. And I'm like, why?
God dang it.
Well, anyway, it's whatever. Honestly, she's probably not the one.
But still, the dream says otherwise. But
No. I'm pretty sure
no,
that the dreams are just like placeholders.
oh, it's like for
It's
someone else, but it
yeah.
will be happening in
It's
some
the
point in
classic.
time.
It's the classic prophecy, Greek philosophy.
Foretold.
Yeah, Greek prophecy, whatever. It's like it's gonna happen. You can't really avoid it. Some things are just not gonna change. It's more of a prophecy of how you read the prophecy rather than rather than how you interpret it at that time. That's a thing. And what's also funny is before the recent dream, my dad had the dream.
Oh,
And that was basically the same thing. It was basically the same dream. But he was actually playing as himself.
with you in the dream, like with another person
Yeah, yeah,
or
yeah.
dating
And no,
someone.
no, no.
Damn.
The person that I was with in his dream was also my first crush. So he was literally on the same dream, but but not on the same time, because he had a dream first, and then I had a dream, but it was basically the same dream.
Wait, is it like you knew about the dream before you had the dream, or it's like you mentioned the dream? Oh, I also had that dream before.
No. I didn't have a dream. He was my dad was the first one that basically told me. I was like, well, that's not gonna happen.
And then you had the dream.
And then I had the dream. I mean,
Oh,
it's
God.
not. It's also not immediate. It was like a few days after, and then um yeah, I also
Damn.
thought that that's not gonna happen.
Like, is it really the thing? Is it really happening? But yeah, no.
We'll see. I mean, the year is early. There's a
Mm-hmm.
lot of things changing. There's a lot of things happening. Even from my other friend group, there's a lot of changes happening. Our friend group is also having a lot of changes. This
Yes.
this podcast is also having a lot of changes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're trying to find our third caster. We've never had a second or third caster before, so
Yep. Like, if you want to join our casting group,
please send a resume to. Please pop up an email, a random email.
random email. Dum,
Okay,
dum, 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 dum.
Mr. Miss Editor. Well, obviously I'm kidding. How
That's,
about you? How's your dreams? Have you been sleeping well? I haven't. Kind of.
yeah, same. I haven't. But whenever I do get dreams, it's about me falling. I don't know. Like, it's been like a normal thing for me now. Like, whenever I dream, it's usually when I notice that I'm dreaming, it's like me falling or something.
Oh, and then
It's like the
you
last
get
time.
you get shocked up, and then you wake up.
Yep.
Oh,
But the thing is, you always wake up like heavily breathing when those stuff happen. I don't know though.
oh, maybe that's
That's
sleep
why,
apnea.
yeah, I don't know. So that's why I'm good thing that there's like a medical thing that will be happening, uh, provided by the company, so I would know if something's wrong or something.
I don't think sleep apnea is covered by that. You
No,
have
I
to be.
mean, I would actually ask, like, I would pay for the additional service, but that's
Uh
like a
yeah,
one time. What do
I
you call
think it's
this?
covered. There are what do you call this medical benefits,
Mm-hmm.
HMO
Oh yeah, yeah, true, true.
HMO benefits that cover sleeping problems, whether
Mm-hmm.
it's insomnia or sleep apnea.
Yep.
Yeah,
But yeah, those are one of
probably.
the dreams. But then there's another dream of what do you call this? Me actually doing cement work. You know the what do you call this? The lo-fi background mixing cement. I don't know, dude. I don't know why, but that
maybe
I
it's
get those dreams from time to time.
maybe it's the preparation for you to just calm down. Let's get some work done, because it's
Mhm,
like, oh, here's the work. And then that's basically what you're gonna do for a while. You're just gonna be doing the same thing or roughly the same thing for a few
mhm.
years, just
It,
to save up and then become ambitious again.
mhm. It was like doing the cement mixing with the "Fly Me to the Moon" background, with lo-fi tunes. I,
Because honestly, dreams really do have meanings, because it's
Mhm.
also through the dreams that you get deja vu and other
Oh,
stuff.
true. It's like a short message from the future or the past. Like, oh, this happened. Oh,
Yeah.
this will happen.
Mm-hmm. That's why I am so not prepared for what is gonna
With that
happen.
dream that actually,
Yeah, what's gonna happen this
like, I
year?
would not imagine someone actually coming to your life. Oh yeah, I like you too. Let's date. Then after a few months, let's get married.
I Here's the
Too
thing.
fast.
I
Too
don't
fast.
I don't think it's a few months,
Mm,
but it it might not be as slow as well. Having
mm,
said that, because again, it's a dream. Time doesn't really work well with dreams.
yep.
Sometimes, because there are dreams that are in reverse as well, because some things will happen first, but then the next quote unquote scene would actually be something about about the past of that scene.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes dreams don't have an order. And then, I mean, the whole point of dreams is that there really is a meaning. It could be subconscious, it could be, you know, more spiritual in nature. And also, I think you know that there was a person that fit description,
Oh my god.
but well, we're obviously not gonna reveal that person, but
Yep.
she will. she is not. She did not pass.
Yes.
Needless to say, she did not pass.
Even though we knew that there is some interest or there was like a plan.
Yeah, 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 yeah. And like, holy shit.
Nope.
Even my mom
Immediately,
was, yeah,
immediately yeeted.
even my mom was like super surprised, because she was basically the matchmaker at this
Mm-hmm.
specific instance. And she
Mm-hmm.
was like, she knew that she had an interest to me, but she did not expect to be at that level.
Yep.
So,
Super bubbly or something.
oh my god.
Super ubu that
Yeah,
is out of place. Oh my god.
I did not expect that from that person.
I thought it was going to be like a professional adult or matured conversation,
Yeah,
but
because
no.
it's been years.
Yeah,
It's been what? Mm,
almost 8 years, 7 years.
no, it's actually closer to 9. But yeah, probably 8 years, something like that.
Still, goddamn.
Because yeah, my first actual job was like 8 years ago.
Mm.
Yeah, it was
You
also
would not
February.
expect that.
Yeah. Oh,
I thought that was the what do you call this? That was the timing, like everything. Oh, everything is coming together, and then nope. Uh.
yeah, I mean, life is also kind of like that, you know. It always gives you red herrings.
Mm-hmm.
Gives you like, oh, I gave you something, but it's actually not yours. Because
Yeah.
that's also the thing. I think you know that I have a decent amount of savings.
Mm-hmm.
And my mom is also looking for house and lots for me to buy to work into. Like, oh my god, ma, please. I mean, I don't mind it, but I was thinking that if I got a house and lot to pay in the Philippines, I would
Mm-hmm.
not be able to have the funds to go abroad or
Oh, true.
and whatnot. But knowing my mother, she's gonna keep on just do it. So something happened like a few days ago. I mean, I could probably talk about it because it's no longer relevant now.
Yep.
Because one of our neighbors basically told us that their lot was on sale and it was
Oh wait, that
available.
close to yours
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
currently?
close to my current house. One of the house and lots are available, I mean, for
Mm-hmm.
sale, and it was for cheap, or at least for cheap for near the area. And the fact that it was on sale was like, huh. And we were already looking into why it was on sale. We knew we figured it out, and then we were already considering it because again, I have a bit of savings. Maybe I could work towards it. And yeah, that was like a big thing that was happening to my mind in the last few days. It was like it was even funny because again, recently I was finally free from the whole process of transitioning from one company to another. And then on that day as well, there was a person that was going to our house telling us that there was a house and lot that was available that was on sale. So it's like, oh my god, one problem after another, or one thing to think about after another. And then after a few days, another person went to our house and told us that asking if we already bought the house and lot. And then
Mm-hmm.
we always said that we didn't, and they were going to offer a bigger amount for the house and lot. So yeah, that deal is probably not gonna happen. I'm probably not gonna have a house and lot anytime soon. But it did all go into our minds that, oh, this is already a possibility. And I really need to think about the future more thoroughly.
Yeah, because like having your own house and lot is actually a good investment in the
Yeah,
future stuff like that.
I mean, kind of
I'll,
not exactly right now because the inflation.
yeah, if only you know, if only like we saved up enough money to buy house and lot like 5 years ago, where the prices of house and lots are cheaper.
Yeah, but you did get your current one at a good deal anyway, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because it was still before the pandemic plus or rather, it was around the start of pandemic, so it
Start
was,
of pandemic, yeah.
yeah, so it wasn't that bad, and it was before the inflation, so you did get it for a decent amount. So no regrets there.
Yeah,
But
but
whew,
it would be better if I got the house and lot during when I was in the company so I could apply for better loan. Uh,
ah,
Other
okay.
than my current loan, which is like
I do
very
agree about
pricey.
that, and that's why my mom keeps on telling me that, well, Chibi should have done that since a long time ago, because look at you now.
Mm-hmm.
Where did it bring you? Back to
Back to work. That's why I was going to ask for the I think after 6 months, after a year, I would request to have our loan transferred to our local government uh, fundings and
Ah,
stuff.
I see.
So the
That's why
burden
when
would be lightened. Eh,
that's why when I
because
asked your role like a
Mhm.
few days ago when you talked to me about this, I was like, this is definitely the Thanos meme.
Mhm.
And where did it lead you? Back to me.
Back to me. That's why you sent the videos like laughing like what the fuck is this? Why you have put salt on the wound, bro? I
you
already knew
are
this was happening.
you are going to the educational market, huh?
And
and then
then we are going back.
virtual
Going back to
assistant.
IT, yeah. Huh?
In the end,
Fate is already telling you that you're moving back to your own roots when you move
back to
virtual
me.
assistant. God dang
Woo! Anyway,
it. Shit.
goddamn dreams.
Mm. Who would have thought that these dreams gives us like headache? I thought dreams should be funny. Dreams should be like relaxing.
I mean, there are dreams that
Mm.
are funny. There are dreams have multiple colors.
But why our dreams are like full of stress and headache?
I mean, that's what I think always, that problems will always arise, and um part of problems is like a sign for you that you're still living, that life is continuing for you,
Life
because
is a dream.
problems will keep on coming. And then
Mm-hmm.
the only time, I've thought about it for a while, and was like, when will be the time that there will no longer be problems?
Mm-hmm.
And there was one time. Now, this might be a bit mortifying, but that only time is when you've already passed away.
Mm-hmm.
So as long as you're alive, there will always be problems for you to solve. And it was more of just enjoy life. Imagine Sisyphus to be happy.
Dun, dun, dun,
Do
dun.
you know the myth of Sisyphus?
Mm. Yes, I am familiar. But yeah,
The rolling
we,
rock thing?
mm,
Yeah, so basically he was punished by the gods because he was defying death.
yes,
Um so okay, we'll let you quote unquote live, but you'll spend the rest of your life pushing a rock
pushing this rock.
to a steep hill. Actually, I think some of the translations was steep mountain, but by mountain they meant tall hill or something.
Mm-hmm.
And then your goal was to put it at the peak, but the rock is cursed so that when it reaches near the peak, it will never reach the peak because it's gonna roll itself
Roll
down.
down.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
roll it down again, and then you have to push it back again. And then you'll be punished for the rest of your life to keep on pushing that rock endlessly. And then one of the philosophers of uh, Immanuel Kant basically said that one should imagine Sisyphus to be happy, because I think the explanation was it was related to how absurd the things are.
Mm-hmm.
How absurd things are. We should imagine Sisyphus to be happy for it to
Yeah,
make sense.
because some of like most of the people are like imagining this image like, oh, it's hard to push that track 'cause it's like us in life, like, oh, it's very hard. We tend to complain more than actually making ourselves feel happy with life. All we do is complain, why is this happening to me, what's happening to
Yeah,
this, blah
yeah,
blah blah blah, blah.
the minion life. Yeah.
Mm.
Anyway, what are we gonna talk about today in terms of food or restaurant?
Tu-tu-tu-tu. Because we've talked about some fast food diners, we talked about Japanese food, we've talked
Mm-hmm.
about uh, local cuisines,
Mm-hmm.
but oh, we also talk about pizzas, but we actually haven't talked about household cooking. If you
Oh.
noticed,
Ah.
do you have like a specific favorite cuisine that your parents or family members cook that you are really looking forward to eating?
I mean, obviously, household cooking would be aligned to Filipino cuisine, and because of that, my favorite is also Filipino cuisine. But I'm
Mm-hmm.
not a normal Filipino cuisine
Oh.
enjoyer. I do not enjoy adobo. I do not like adobo.
Oh, bold statement for a Filipino.
Hey man.
Because you
I,
know how much
yeah, yeah,
most
yeah. They
Filipino tend to
I
tell
I mean
foreigners,
honestly
oh,
they're romanticizing the whole adobo thing. I mean
mm-hmm.
Filipino cuisine is very expansive. Like, do you imagine that adobo is a big thing in Mindanao? Are you sure about that?
Oh, true.
And then even at Visayas, because at Visayas, it's not, I don't think it's adobo. I think it's closer to inasal or
Inisal.
lechon. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, yeah. See? So it's actually close. The adobo thing might actually be closer to people from Luzon, which is just about one third of the whole.
Of the whole Philippines country.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So I don't think it's a hot take because on the other hand, I'm also part of Sinigang
Oh,
gang.
sinigang gang, let's go.
Uh-huh. Really like that stuff.
Yes,
But
sir.
my
But
favorite,
what kind of
I mean, it doesn't really matter. I just really like sinigang.
mm-hmm.
But my favorite Filipino cuisine is a there's actually two-ish. I mean, I really like tokwa, but
Oh,
tokwa is like more of an ingredient
yeah,
and
ingredient. Like
then it either goes to tokwa baboy and other stuff.
sweet and
Sometimes
sour tofu or
some
something.
yeah, sometimes pansit. So I don't think that's a good answer. Instead, it's pakbet baboy.
Pakbet?
Yeah, pakbet
Oh.
baboy. Specifically baboy because normal pakbet is just the the vegetables,
Mm-hmm.
but then there's pakbet baboy, which is which is like the cuisine relative of binagoongan
Mm-hmm.
because it's also bagoong, which people don't really like.
Oh, true. Some people
Well,
dislike bagong.
yeah, uh, and what I
Wait,
really like,
is this the bagong which is salty or the sweet one?
I think it's the salty one because most of the sweetness of pakbet baboy is both from the pork itself and the tomatoes.
Mm.
It's like
Oh
I
yeah.
I think that's the kind of secret for the recipe from my family. It's like they're not using tomato sauce; they're actually using tomato paste as well. That's
Oh,
why
interesting.
that's why the pakbet baboy for us is like decently red.
It's not the usual color like
Yeah, yeah, because
a
it's
normal
like
color pakbet.
yeah, if it's just tomato sauce, it's a bit watery and then it's
Mm-hmm.
closer to orange. Well,
Orange, yeah, yeah.
Well, us, it's definitely it's red orange, and it's
Piece of the
really
paste.
good. It's really good. It's probably the only meal that I could easily eat ampalaya or
Oof.
bitter gourd
Bitter gourd. Fuck that
to
shit. Fuck that.
yeah
I'm not a
that's the
fan of bitter gourd.
uh,
God
I think I
damn.
could handle bitter gourd, but not a lot. But then
Mhm.
if I eat it with pakbet baboy, I could eat a lot of it. So that's an easy one for me. And what's funny is I got that answer based from my cousin because he
Oh,
also likes pakbet baboy. And I was like, pakbet baboy? What's that? And I'm like, he was like, oh, you know that thing. This, and then he requested that it could be cooked, and then I really enjoyed it to the point that I ate a lot at that day. So, yep, definitely my favorite. And then my favorite ingredient would be tofu, and then my favorite dessert is the classic leche flan.
oh, same. Nothing beats leche flan.
Yeah, I don't think anything beats leche flan,
Mhm.
especially for Filipinos.
Filipinos, exactly.
Yeah. Because again, leche plan is like there's a lot of different ratios for it. Um I think what makes our family's leche plan different is that, well, at least from my mom, she says that what makes ours different is that we use the whole egg, both the egg white and the egg yolk.
Egg yolk.
Mm-hmm. Because normally you only use egg yolk.
Mm-hmm.
You don't really use the egg whites.
Egg whites.
Yeah. And then yeah, so it's designed to be that way. It My grandmother perfected it to my taste. So I
Ooh.
really that's why I really like it.
Oh my god.
So
That's
yeah.
why. Oh my god. What if other people cook the different what do you call this preference, like the ingredients and stuff? Would you still
Mm-hmm.
be able to eat those?
We'll see.
Oh my god.
Well, I do enjoy leche plan even as is, but I always think that the best leche plan is the one that was made by my grandpa.
Hmm.
How about you?
For
Favorites,
me,
notable
favorite
ones?
uh thing to eat, like local cuisine, or like if it's cooked, uh, it's two. It's either yes, we have sinigang, nothing beats sinigang, and kare kare,
Oh, care
the
care.
kare kare, because that's the actual food that we usually get during Sundays, especially back then when we are still living in the Manila. So it's like
I see.
it's either one, it's cooked by our aunt, or we bought it from like the local karinderya or turo turo. It's like a
I
local,
see. Yeah. With bagoong?
yeah, yeah, with bagoong, with either the salty one or
Yeah.
the sweet one. Not it doesn't really matter as long as it's bagoong.
Mm,
Because there's a what they call this. Sometimes the way they cook kare kare, it's not always the same. It
yep.
still tastes like good. Like there are types of kare kare where there's no tualia, or what they call that, pig skin or
Yep.
something.
Mm-hmm.
And there's some kare kare where there's beef. Some are there's no
Yeah.
beef.
Yeah, and there's also seafood kare kare.
Mm-hmm.
And then yeah, there even the taste of kare kare is very different. I mean
Mm-hmm.
that's the thing with Filipino cuisine. It's always to taste to a
Yeah.
specific to either specific family or specific person.
uh there's like, how many cups of blank do you need for this? Oh, just ask your ancestors. They'll tell you when to stop, or how much you need for this
Yeah.
ingredient.
Because again, that's the thing with Filipino cuisine. It's always up to the taste of the of the person, or rather
Mhm.
to whom you're giving the food to,
Yeah.
because it's, again, it's designed to be like, with our hospitality, that okay, you shouldn't be shy in terms of this expensive ingredients.
Mhm.
There are sometimes it's like that. And then, just like I said, the leche flan from of our family was designed towards to my taste, so
Mhm.
it's now my favorite. And then that's also the thing with kare kare, because sometimes they make kare kare a little bland so that it can be carried
Oh,
by their strong bagoong.
yes, exactly.
And then there's also kare kare with thick peanut sauce.
Peanut. Mhm.
So to the point that even without bagoong, it's gonna be super tasty.
Yep.
Or even if the bagoong is like bland, because there's also bland bagoong.
Bagoong. Mhm. That's
So,
where there's also instances where you have rice, yes, but they also provide you with pandesal to go with
mm,
kare-kare.
yeah.
Yeah, the Filipino taste buds are actually quite exquisite in my opinion.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, the funny thing is, people think, or at least foreigners think, that our tastes are too strong. But
Mm,
in reality, it's more of just that you weren't eating it with rice.
yes, exactly.
Rice makes things blander. So, what you're supposed to do is you have to find your own mix, your own specific combination. It's
Yeah,
like, oh, is it gonna be one full spoon of rice, or maybe you eat two spoons of rice and then eat one kare kare.
one kare-kare.
Oh yeah, yeah. It
Or
depends on your
is your
taste.
rice being flooded by the whole sauce
Yeah,
of
yeah,
the
yeah.
thing? No.
Uh huh. I mean, that's also the thing with sinigang.
Mm, yeah.
I realized that apparently sinigang isn't usually served with a lot of sabaw or soup.
Oh,
Yeah,
but I think
apparently.
yeah,
Yeah, also my dad always requests for soup, so that's why for our sinigang, there's always a lot of soup.
exactly. Because I thought like we got used to like family household cooking where if you ever cook sinigang, it should be like a whole crock pot of
Yep,
uh soup.
but I guess that's the thing, right? It's always catered to a specific person or
Mm-hmm.
persons.
It's like if you are going to it depends also on the status of the family, like the economic status or financial
Yeah,
status.
yeah, yeah,
Like
that's also yeah, that's also the thing. Because that's
if
also
there's
the
not
thing with
much.
chicken curry, right?
Oh yeah.
Is it sayote and upo?
Oh,
Or
true. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
people were like, what
No,
do
it's
you put?
upo. No, it's no.
It's sayote. And
Mm.
like, well, sayote is cheaper, that's why. That's the one that some
I
people
think it's
use.
also the same with is was it tinola?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, with the upo and papaya
Yeah,
or
yeah, yeah,
something.
yeah, 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 yeah.
What's the original ingredient for tinola? Is it papaya or is
I
it
mean, that's
uh
also the thing with the whole afritada, mechado, and
mm, because
uh,
what do you call this?
menudo.
There's a lot of family members battling it out. Like, what is the original ingredient for tinola? Is it papaya or is it upo or something?
Yeah, 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 yeah. As I mean, well, whatever. It just goes to show that Filipino cuisine, even though it's tasty, it's very unstable because it's
Yes.
always assigned to a specific place, a specific family, or a specific person.
Mm-hmm.
Having said that, rating?
Dun-dun-dun-dun. For me, for kare-kare in the other household Filipino cuisine, it's hmm, 3 teaspoons of sweetened bagoong over 3 teaspoons of salt. But if we're going to include ampalaya in or bitter gourd into the mix, I'll rate it 0 out of 0. I really don't like bitter gourd. You're gonna eat it outside the window or some shit, bro. The only time that I'll be eating bitter gourd is if Erica is staring deathly into my eyes, telling me to eat that shit. Uh, Other than that, nope. You're not gonna make me eat that. Nope.
Yes, dear.
Yes, dear. Yes, mom. Uh huh. This tastes good.
My rating would probably be 5 cups of extra rice
Mm,
over 2 glasses of sagugulaman and 1 hefty serving of pakbet baboy,
let's go.
also
Oh my
known
god, I'm not
as to your taste.
into
it's
your taste.
it's good to your taste.
No,
Filipino
I'm now
cuisine is
hungry
to your
again.
taste.
God dang it.
Hey man, at least
Hey.
it ended decently early.
Oh yeah, true.
Uh-huh. I mean, I guess that's what happens if you're just two people.
Yes, sir. So if you want to join our casters podcast,
Yeah, we want to change into
comment down below.
Three Casters podcast.
There you have it. Thank you guys for listening to our podcast, and we will post again another video. This will be a weekly thing. Don't worry. Well, we will put these
we will
videos up
we'll do our best.
mm, weekly
we're
basis.
we're gonna use our classic customer service language and tell you that we apologize for the
Inconveniences
yeah
and for
for
the
the
delay of our
for the delay of our
operation.
for the delay of our episodes. We will doing our best to catch up and add more episodes in the following days. Um. So yeah, see you again.
Yeah. See you again.
There was
Bye.
definitely not a
Look
rat
at
in this
this
video.
photograph. Quack.
This has been your favorite Mouse King and your captain. I'll see you guys on the next stream. See ya. Water!